newlyweds. A new home, great careers, their whole life ahead of them. But after 5 years of marriage, something was missing: a child. This couple learned that the probability of having a child of their own was unlikely and decided to foster adopt a child. Working with a foster agency, they received a phone call that a baby was available. The couple was excited, got in their car, and went to see the little girl. When they walked in the room, the wife said, "She is the one." And this little girl, who was drug exposed and at already 4 weeks old, had undergone one major surgery where a shunt was placed in her tiny skull, came home with the couple. One Saturday morning, the father was building a baby jumper to put the now 7-month-old baby in. The wife was cooking breakfast. A playful day was their intent. The jumper was completed. The father reached over and picked up the 7-month-old baby and put her in the jumper. Immediately, the wife, being a nurse, yelled, "Call 911, she's having a seizure and turning blue." 4 days in the hospital, they were led down a cold, sterile hallway. They went into a room where a panel of doctors were seated. The doctors informed this couple that the little girl would never walk, never talk, never see, never hear, that she would require a feeding tube, that she would have to undergo many, many surgeries in her life, eventually becoming deformed, and that she wouldn't live past 4. The doctors informed the couple that due to her biological parents' drug use, she was missing 70% of her brain. The couple was crushed. The doctor's advice: give her back and get another one. In that moment, this couple was faced with the toughest decision of their entire life. My wife and I said, "No, we will not give her back." And we adopted Hailey. Finding out your own child may not live past 4, at least for me, changed my whole life. I began to think, what would her future be? And then I learned of a great injustice. And my quest for human equality began. I came across 2 ways that the government allows people with disabilities to work. The more I learned, the angrier I became. The first is called a day program. The second is called a workshop. Both programs take advantage of the disabled. The disabled individuals are making these programs money, and the individuals that run them money, sometimes millions of dollars. Yet the individuals with disabilities in the day program are volunteers earning $0, and the ones in workshops are paid below sub-minimum wage. As a society, we needed to do something, and I understand that, but we could do more. I began to think I wouldn't want my daughter being taken advantage like so many others have been robbed. And it wasn't just me. People are profiting from exploiting disabled workers. It is clearly and unquestionably exploitation. In fact, the U.S. government that came up with day programs and workshops, they began to see that it was inhumane and unfair. And in 2014, they created a law. It required day programs and workshops to start integrating disabled individuals with non-disabled individuals because disabled individuals were being taken advantage of. In 2016, the law became active. Day programs and workshops now not complying with the law would be defunded or shut down. Sadly, in the United States and across the world, many of these day programs and workshops are still non-compliant. But there was a problem. If these day programs shut down and these workshops shut down, where were millions of individuals with disabilities going to go for work? Well, I did what any logical, rational father would do. I quit my job. Yep. And I started an organization to be the change. We are not looking at people for their problem, but we are looking at them for their purpose. We believe in human equality, equal pay for equal work. Since opening in March 2015, hundreds of individuals have received job training, have been given fair wage, minimum wage, or better, and we have placed them successfully into our location and some of our clients' locations. Meet Ozzy. Ozzy was my first hire 15 months ago. Ozzy lived at home. He had really felt hopeless. To this day, Ozzy works, we've trained him and now works at a local company in town through Connect, my company, for 40 plus hours a week. And for the first time in his life, owns his own apartment, owns his own car, and has bought not one, not two, but 3 electric guitars. I guess that goes like this. And then there's Lalaine. Lalaine also has been with me for about 15 months, and she's hearing impaired. So we trained her in a job that doesn't require necessarily her ears, but her eyes to quality control or check these labels if they're good or bad. If they're good, they go in a good pile. If they're bad, they go in a bad pile. Before Connect, because of her hearing disability, she could hardly hear us talking with her, and it was muffled. But now, because she's making minimum wage or better, she can afford an upgraded hearing aid, and for the first time can hear us clearly and read lips also quite well because of that. Thank you. Hayden is another individual that when he came to our company could not count past 2 or 5 even effectively. Not over and over again. But again, job training. We created semi-automated machinery that allows him each day to come to work and effectively count 100 pieces into a box that goes and is distributed around the world of hardware. That's Hayden. And as you can see, every day I wake up to this. Many, many more showing up daily with smiles on their face, with purpose. I'm not taking advantage of them. They're getting equal pay for equal work. This is just the beginning, though, folks. Together, we can do more. Together, we can break status quo and change culture and make history. Together, we can change millions of lives. We're all standing in a moment where truthfully, millions, if not thousands, if not millions of individuals are relying on us. For too long, we have abused and underused the disabled population in our community and around the world. One that we have claimed that we have enabled, but we have not empowered. An organization like this empowers people. It creates jobs, stimulating local and regional economies, and it treats people humanely. Hailey changed my life. She allowed me to see people for their purpose. My daughter, this little girl, without the ability to speak, speaks daily through the spirit of our organization on behalf of countless millions around the world. The first step to this change is opening our hearts and our minds to see people for who they are, for their purpose, that every life has meaning. The second step today that I would ask all of us is to ask yourself, how can I help be part of this change? Because I believe that if we find that within ourselves, this kind of change will reverberate around the world. So, what happened to Hailey? Well, I'd like you to meet her. My daughter's here today. Meet Hailey and my wife. Thank you.